Kia ora, Morgan here from Smart Build Solutions. We're going to continue with our home check maintenance list. Today we're going to focus on our exterior walls. Our walls are weatherboards, so let's go out there and see what we can find, eh? So here's our weatherboard exterior wall. What I like to do is I like to start down the bottom. Now baseboards or base panels, whatever you want to call them. Down here, the green ones, they're all made out of a material called fiberlight. It's quite common back in those days. See here that we've got these ventilation holes just there, just making sure that everything looks pretty solid. There's no real rust or any breaks in it. Those look pretty good all the way down to the corner. Here we've got a joiner. Looks like it's been broken off. So maybe replacing that all the way down. Take that one off and put a new one on. With our weatherboards, the things that we want to look out for, they're quite obvious. You'll see them if they're missing, if they're not level, if there's cracks on the joins like here. Cracks are starting to form through here as well, so a bit of attention is going to be needed. Any nail heads that are starting to show. Any weatherboards that are out of level. Good thing also is just to really push on your weatherboards, really touch your wall, have a feel on it. If it's soft or spongy, then you're probably going to have to cut that piece out or replace it, or replace the whole weatherboard. Next, coming up to our windows. Got our windowsill here. Also got our facing board here and our scriber. The important part here is to make sure that everything's weatherproofed, watertight, there's no gaps. These windows are double glazed aluminium joinery, and what you'll see is that there's a bead of silicone that runs between the window frame and also the facing board. Just checking to make sure that it's a continuous bead, there's no holes or breaks in it. Notice that this windowsill is starting to show its age. Got a bit of cracking here in the paint, bit of splitting, bit of a gap underneath there at the facing board where it comes onto the windowsill, and also here this piece needs a bit of love, and also there you go, bit of rust showing through from the nails. Chuck them on the to-do list. Here's our front door. This guy gets battered quite a lot because he gets the westerly winds. That's our most common wind up here, this location. What we find is that that'll hit our window, our door sills right here. I've noticed that we've got a bit of movement here, gaps in our scribers going up through here. So they're going to need to be filled and painted. There you go. But the majority of the door sill itself still looks pretty solid. Bit of cracking there, needs a bit of attention. What I have noticed that can become a bit of a problem is this lower weatherboard here. It's got a bit of a hole in it and a crack starting to run through there. It is quite soft when I push it. So I'm thinking that there's been a lot of ponding of water. Water sits onto the concrete and it starts building up and putting pressure onto the weatherboard. So I'm thinking maybe in the future I might make up a little flashing that can protect that whole area. So we come to our external corners. These weatherboards, most weatherboards are going to have soakers on them, and these soakers are starting to really show their age. A lot of rust coming through there. So they're going to need to have a bit of attention. You've got a couple of options that you can use. You can either take the soaker off and put on new ones, which is very, very hard. Biggest problem is that you don't want to crack these. The other option that you can have is putting a facing board down and then a scriber and boxing it off. That'll be something that we'll check out later on. On the side we've also got our gas meter as well. The fixings look pretty solid. That's not going anywhere. And now we're up to the back of the house. This one's quite busy. Got a few things going on here. Our manhole access for underneath the house, starting to show its age, bit of rust there on the latch and on the hinges as well. This needs a little bit of attention. Beside them, we've got our downpipe going into our drainage. Want to make sure that this is all clear. There's nothing obviously blocking it up. Kids like to put tennis balls down them. No tennis balls. On this wall we've also got our hose and our infinity unit, gas unit. Just check to make sure that the hose is nice and solid. There's no rust coming through there. That looks pretty good. Bit of attention needs there above the switch. That's pretty solid. And possibly a bit of lagging on those pipes later on, just to insulate them. To the back end of the house now, we've got our back door, and attached to the weatherboards up here we've also got our circuit board. That's original, she's been loved. Needs an upgrade at some stage, we'll put it on the wish list. But for now she's doing a good job, everything's watertight. With this door, again we just want to make sure that our sills are looking pretty good. There's no cracking, no flaking of paint, no gaps. It's looking pretty solid, there's no water that's going to get in there. Also our facing boards that run up the side there, and our scribers, they all look nice and tight all the way up to our head flashing. It's up here, it's looking pretty solid. A little bit of a gap there that we can come back to. Put a bit of filler, a bit of paint in there just to solid them up. Other than that, she all looks pretty good, nice and tight. Same with the meter box up here, scribers, pretty good. Underneath looks pretty good as well. So pretty happy with. Right, and then to finish off, we're just down to the garage door, our basement garage. It's concrete block with a plaster over the top of it here, and then up the top of it, as our baseboards like the rest of the house, that's all fiberlight. So again, just checking, make sure that our facing boards are nice and solid. Our head flashing above the door is all good. Looks pretty good. And that the door itself is weather tight, so no water will get in. Wish list, replace the door one day. So there you go guys, just a real quick check that you can do on your exterior cladding, your weatherboards. Obviously if you've got a brick, block house, plaster, stucco, any different type of cladding, the basics to just check out for is to make sure that you've got no holes, there's no damaged areas, and there's nothing missing. Now if you've got any concerns or you want to have a chat, feel free to get in touch with us, give us a call, flick us an email. We'll be more than happy to help. Thanks again for watching. Tune in for next time as we're going to get under the house and have a crawl around and see what's going on over there. Cheers.